if you constantly feel exhausted, even though you've done everything right, I'm going to share 5 signs that you need the self love work. And I'm willing to bet that you'll recognize yourself in at least 3 of them. And towards the end, as well, I will be giving you a free assessment that you can see how far you on your self-love journey. Some of these things are obvious and some are very sneaky. Things you might normalize, but that are actually red flags. Let's dive in. First, let's talk about what self-love actually is, because it's not just bubble baths and affirmations in the mirror. Self love is how you treat yourself when nobody's watching. It's the voice in your head. It's whether you honor your needs or ignore them. It's the relationship you have with yourself, and that relationship affects everything else in your life. When you don't love yourself, you accept less than you deserve. You stay in situations that drain you. You silence your own voice. You live someone else's version of your life. And the sneaky part, you might not even realize you're doing it. So let's look at the signs. As I go through these, please pay attention to which one resonate with you. Sign number 1. Your inner voice sounds like a bully, not a best friend. You wake up and the first thought is, ah, I look terrible. You might make a small mistake and spend hours beating yourself up. You call yourself stupid, worthless, fat, ugly, a failure. Things you would never say to someone you love. Maybe you don't even notice it anymore because it's so constant.
It's just background noise. You're not good enough. You're going to mess this up. Nobody really likes you. This is your normal.
And here's the thing, the relationship you have with yourself sets the tone to every other relationship in your life. If you constantly criticizing yourself, you're living in an abusive relationship with yourself. And you can't build real confidence or peace when you're at war with your own mind. When you truly love yourself, your inner voice becomes compassionate. You talk to yourself like you talk to a child you're nurturing, with patience, kindness, and encouragement. That's what we work on in Module 4 of the Self Love Journey course, transforming that inner critic into your biggest supporter. Quick check. What's the first thing you said to yourself when you look in the mirror this morning? Was it kind? That's your answer. Sign number 2. You say yes when you want to say no. You overcommit, you overextend, and exhaust yourself trying to make everyone else happy. You're terrified of disappointing people, so you sacrifice your own time, energy, and needs to avoid conflict. Maybe you volunteer for everything at work, even though you're drowning. Maybe you cancel your own plans the second someone needs you. Maybe you stay quiet when someone crosses a line because speaking up feels too scary. You've become everyone else's to go person, but who's there for you? And here's what happens, you start resenting people, not because they're bad people, but because you're giving from an empty cup. You feel used, overlooked, taken for granted, but you keep saying yes anyway because you don't know how to stop. People pleasing isn't kindness, it's self abandonment. Every time you say yes to someone else when you want to say no, you're telling yourself,
My needs don't matter. My voice doesn't count. I'm not as important as they are.
that's the opposite of self love. When you love yourself, you set boundaries, you protect your own energy, you stop saying no without guilt. And ironically, people respect you even more when you honor yourself. That's what Module 5 is all about. Learning to set boundaries and stop people pleasing without destroying your relationships. Now, ask yourself, When was the last time you said no to someone without apologizing or explaining? If you can't remember, this sign applies to you. Sign number 3. Someone compliments you and you immediately deflate and saying phrases like,
Oh, this old thing? I just got lucky. No, I look awful today, but thanks.
you're literally cannot just say thank you and accept it. You have to minimize it, reject it, or turn it into a joke. And it's just not with compliments. When something goes well, you chalk it up to luck. When you succeed, you downplay it. When someone sees something good in you, you correct them. It's like you're allergic to believing anything positive about yourself. This isn't humanity. This is deep disbelief in your own worth. Somewhere along the way, you internalize the message that you're not worthy of praises, success, or recognition. So when it comes your way, it feels wrong, like a mistake that needs to be corrected. When you can't receive love, appreciation, or recognition from others, it's because you haven't given it to yourself first. You're blocking your own blessings because you don't believe you deserve them. Self love means believing you are worthy of compliments, of success, of good things. It means accepting that you're deserving just because you exist, not because you earned it or proved it. And Marshall 2 helps you rebuild the foundation of self love through self awareness and self discovery. Next time someone compliments you, just say thank you and nothing else. Notice how uncomfortable that feels. That discomfort, that's the word. Sign number 4. Self care feels selfish when you take time for yourself. You feel guilty. Rest feel like laziness. Doing something just for you seems indulgent or wasteful. You can justify everyone else's taking a break, but when it's you,
I don't have time for that. Other people need me. I'll rest when everything's done.
which, spoiler alert, is never. Maybe you skip meals because you're too busy. Maybe you haven't had a hobby in years because all of your time goes to work and obligation. Maybe the thought of spending money on yourself feels wrong, but you'll spend it on others without blinking. You're always last on your own priority list. This comes from a belief that your worth is tied to your productivity and usefulness. If you're not doing something for someone, you're not valuable. So, rest, pleasure, and self care feels like luxury you haven't earned, even though you're running on empty. You can't pour from an empty cup. When you don't take care of yourself, you burn out, get resentful, lose yourself, and eventually have nothing left to give. Self care isn't selfish, it's how you stay sane, healthy, and actually able to show up for the people you love. Self love means knowing that taking care of yourself isn't optional, it's essential. It means prioritizing your needs without guilt and creating rituals that actually nourish you. And Marshall 6 teaches you how to build a sustainable self care that doesn't feel like another chore on your to do list. When was the last time you did something purely for your own joy? Not because it was productive or helpful to someone else, just because it made you happy. If you're struggling to answer, you need this. Sign number 5. You stuck in the comparison trap. You stroll social media and feel worse about yourself. You see someone else's success, and instead of celebrating, you feel inadequate. You measure your worth by how you stack up against others, and you always come up short. Maybe you're constantly thinking, she's prettier than me, he's more successful, they have the perfect relationship. Why can't I be like them? You look at everyone else's highlight reel and compare it to your behind the scenes struggles. And no matter what you achieve, It never feels good enough because someone else is always doing better. Comparison is a symptom of conditional self love. You only love yourself if you're the best, the prettiest, the most successful. But that's an impossible standard. So you constantly falling short in your own eyes. You're bashing your worth on external measures instead of internal value. As long as your worth depends on being better than, you'll never feel secure. There will always be someone smarter, prettier, richer, more accomplished. The finish line keeps moving, and meanwhile, you're so focused on everyone else that you're not even living your own life. Self love means knowing you're worthy as you are, not in comparison to anyone else, but because you're you. It means celebrating others without diminishing yourself. It means running your own race. And Marshall 7 and 8 helps you develop that self compassion and authenticity so you can stop comparing and start living. Notice how you feel after strolling social media. If you feel worse about yourself, drained, or inadequate, that's a sign you're measuring your worth against others instead of finding it within. So, let's recap the 5 signs you need self love work. 1. Self love is your default. 2. You're a chronic people pleaser. 3. You can't accept compliments. 4. You feel guilty for self care. And 5. You constantly comparing yourself to others. If you recognize yourself in 3 or more of these, you're not alone. Most of us weren't taught how to love ourselves. We learn to criticize, push, prove, and perform. We learn that our own worth is conditional, and now we're living with the consequences. But here's the good news: self love is a skill you can learn. It's not something you either have or you don't. It's something you build through intentional work. And that's exactly what the self love journey course teaches you. Every sign I just described, there's a module in the course that addresses it. Negative self talk in Module 4, people pleasing and boundaries in Module 5, not believing your worth in Module 2, self care guilt in Module 6, comparison in Module 7 and 8. This course is designed to heal these exact struggles. Now, I want to give you something for free. I created a self love assessment. It takes about 5 minutes. It'll show you exactly where you are on your self love journey. It measures things like self compassion, boundaries, inner voice, self care, and authenticity. When you complete it, you'll get your self love score across 5 key areas, personalized insight on where to focus, specific recommendation for your journey, and a free guide with actionable first steps. The link is in the description and in the pinned comments below. It's completely free, only takes 5 minutes, and you'll get your results immediately. No strings attached, just clarity on where you're at and where to start. Over 1,000 people have taken this assessment, and the feedback has been incredible. People say it's the first time they've really understand what they need to work on. So if you recognize yourself in any of these signs, go take it right now. And hey, if you want to go deeper and actually transform these patterns, that's what the self love journey course is for. But start with the assessment. Get clear on where you are, then you can decide your next step. But before you go, I'm curious, which of the 5 signs resonate with you the most? Drop a number in the comments from 1 through 5, most likely, less likely, and let me know. I read every single comment, and your answers will help me create better content for you. And if there's any other signs of low self-love I didn't cover, share those too. Maybe I'll make a part 2 of this video. If this video helped you see yourself much more clearly, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell. I post new videos every 2 weeks about self-love, healing, and personal growth. The next video is going to be about why you can't love yourself, how to fix it, and the real root cause. And you don't want to miss it. Remember, recognizing these signs isn't something to feel bad about. It's the first step towards change. You can't fix what you can't see. So if you saw yourself in this video, good. That means you're ready to do something. Now, go take the free assessment. I'll see you in the next video. And remember, you are worthy of your own love, always.
We were still alive when we